Hi, this is a quick little 20-minute restorative practice. It'll be great to do at the end of your day. We will be using a block for some of the postures. So if you have a block, you'll want to make sure you have that handy for this practice. If you don't have a block, you could probably just get away with a firm couch pillow and be just fine with that. So we're going to start with some breath work, and a lot of times you might find it a little more comfortable to sit on your block when we're able to get our hips elevated above the knees, and it's just a little more comfortable to sit. So you can sit on the block or pillow or not, your choice. We're going to start with some alternate nostril breathing. So you're going to take your right two peace fingers and place them at your brow bone. Your thumb's going to be working the right nostril, and your ring finger is going to be working your left nostril. So we'll begin by closing that right nostril, and you're going to take an inhale through the left side to start. And then we'll close the left side and we'll exhale through the right and inhale. And then switch to the left. And then to the right. Exhale, inhale. Left side, exhale, inhale. Switching back and forth like that, feel free to close your eyes. Takes a little bit of concentration. Each time you switch nostrils, it's an exhale and then an inhale. Continue breathing here. Switching back and forth, exhale and then inhale. We're working to balance the hemispheres of the brain. So at the end of this, you should feel very relaxed and calm, but alert. One more time on the left. And then we'll switch to the right and exhale and be done. You'll place your hands on your knees. Keep your eyes closed and just take a couple easy breaths here and notice how you feel. When you're ready, blink your eyes open and we'll begin. So we're going to begin with a seated twist. And if you would like, if you're sitting on your block, you might like to get rid of the block to do this, or it's okay to keep it under you if you prefer. Inhale your arms up. Reach up through the sides of the body. And then exhale, twist to the right. You're going to look over your right shoulder. You can use your left hand on that right knee for a little traction to help you twist. Pull that right shoulder down and back. Gaze is over your right shoulder, looking as far over, even if it's just with your eyes. You can take a big inhale, sit up. On your exhale, stay in your twist. Just bring your gaze over that front shoulder now. And then inhale back behind you. Hold at the top of that inhale for 1, 2, and then we'll exhale over the left shoulder and hold at the bottom of that exhale for 1, 2. Inhale, look behind you. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold at the bottom for 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to center. Reach your arms up. And exhale, twist to the left now. Sitting up nice and tall. That left hand behind you helps you to do that, helps you sit up tall, helps you lift the chest. Pull your belly in, looking as far over the left shoulder as you can, trying to keep the shoulders down the back. Inhale. Exhale your gaze forward. Inhale behind you. Hold at the top for 1, 2. Exhale. Hold at the bottom for 1, 2. Inhale. Hold 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to center, reaching up, maybe looking up. And then exhale. Bring your hands to the mat. Let's scoot back here to child's pose. So you're going to sit on your heels, bring your knees about mat width apart or as far apart as you need to reach out and bring your chest down towards the mat. Bring your forehead to the mat. And here's a place, if you're really tight in the shoulders, you can place your forehead on your block. We're trying to sink the hips towards the heels. It's okay if you're not sitting on the heels. Still feeling a big stretch in your hips, in your shoulders, maybe coming up onto your fingertips. If you want more of a stretch in your shoulders, come up onto your fingertips, press your chest further towards the mat. Maybe bring your right armpit towards the mat, then the left armpit, working into the shoulders and the upper back. One more breath here. Push yourself up into a tabletop position, and we'll do some cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly. Reach your tailbone up. Gaze goes up. Chest comes forward. Exhale. Moving slowly with your breath, push into the ground. Arch your spine. Look at your belly. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. The key here is to move as slowly as you possibly can. Breathing as slowly as you possibly can. Feel yourself relaxing into the postures. We'll do one more round. And then meet with a neutral spine. We'll do a little side bending. So now we're going to look over our right shoulder, bring your right hip towards right shoulder. And then we'll come back through center, look over your left shoulder, bring your left shoulder, left hip towards one another. And then come back center. Let's come up onto our knees and bring your right foot out, your right leg straight out, setting up for gate pose. You're going to keep your right hand on top of the right leg. Reach your left arm up. Really picture lifting those left ribs up away from the hip and then bending over. And you can keep your gaze forward or you can drop your gaze down towards the ground, whatever feels best on your neck. You want to push down into your left knee, really reach up through the left side of the body. Big stretch there. And then we'll come back out of it and bring our right knee under us, and that left leg will extend out to the side. Left hand on top of that leg for support. Inhale, reach up, lift the right ribs away from that hip, and exhale yourself over. Keep your low belly tight, supporting your spine as it's in this bend. Push down into that right knee and lift through the right side of the body. And then we'll inhale, come up, bring both knees back under you. And then if you need to bring your hands down for support, you can. We're just going to bring the right foot forward here and come into a lunge. So you can come up, pull your belly in, let your tailbone be heavy so that we don't get this anterior tilt of the pelvis to come forward. We want to really create a stretch in the front of that left hip. So keep your tailbone heavy. Try not to sickle the foot behind you, the left foot as well. You'll get a better stretch in your hip flexors if those toes are pointed straight back behind you. So coming down, if you want, now that you've been here for a few breaths, maybe you can come a little lower onto your hands or even your elbows, or maybe here is a place that you could use your block if you'd like. But see if you can't come down into it just a little deeper. Keeping your chest lifted. Try not to round the spine too much here. And then we'll take it into a twist. So we'll bring left hand to the mat or your block and right hand to that right knee and look over your right shoulder. Good. Go ahead and scoot your hips back. You can bring that right knee back under you and we'll bring the left foot forward. So come down into that runner's lunge. Again, making sure toes are pointed straight back behind you. Low belly's engaged, tailbone slightly tucked. Big stretch on the right hip flexors. You can come down a little lower if you'd like. Also, if you are feeling a little unbalanced, you might want to check where you have your knee and foot placed on the mat. You want to make sure that those are hip width apart, so they'd be in different lanes of traffic on your mat. Let's take it into our twist. Right hand stays on the mat your block, and your left hand will come to that front knee. Look over your left shoulder. Good. Go ahead and let's release. Go ahead and step that left leg back to meet the right, and we'll just take a seat on our mat. Here's where we'll use our block. So bring your right leg out, left foot in, and we're going to go into an easy forward fold here. So we're going to end up resting our head on the block. And you'll come down, find your lowest grip on your foot, ankle, shin, maybe even just hands supported on either side of that leg, and lengthen on your inhale and then fold yourself over on your exhale. So then once you come down, you can decide where you place that block. And the block can be up at its highest level, mid-level, maybe lowest level, or you don't even need the block at that point. You can just rest your head on your knee. If you're not coming down very far, that block can be somewhere on your leg even at either of those levels. Or if you need a little additional help, if the block isn't enough, stack two fists on the block. But you want to come down into your lowest version of a forward fold and then try to relax into it. So we want to let our head be heavy. You don't have to really keep using your grip to hold yourself here. You can just drop those arms to the side of the leg and relax them on the mat. Just find a way to relax into this forward fold. And we're going to stay here for a little while. So you might find that as you stay here longer, you're able to use the breath to relax into it just a bit more. Our exhales naturally relax us. So use that to your advantage. Relax a little more with each exhale. Release a little more tension with each exhale. Clear your mind, clear your thoughts. One more breath. And then you'll slowly inhale yourself back up and switch legs. So left leg extends, right foot comes in. And then set up your block wherever it was on the other side, but just know that it might be a little different here. You could maybe go a little deeper or not on this side. Set up again so that you can relax into this forward fold. You want to come down low enough that you feel challenged, you feel your hamstrings stretching, but not so much that you're miserable holding it. So we're here for a little while. So find where you can hold and be calm, where you can enjoy the stretch. Forward folds are very calming, so we don't want to push it too much. One more breath. And then we'll inhale to come back up. We're going to lay down on our mat, and I want you to take your block with you so it's handy. You can reach it while you're laying down. First, we're going to come into a reclined half moon. So reach your arms up above you, point your toes, and really stretch through the entire body. On your exhale, walk your feet and hands over to the right corners of your mat. As far over as you'd like, but just make sure that you're able to keep both hips and both shoulders down on the mat. And it might feel more comfortable to separate your hands shoulder width apart or maybe even grab opposite elbows. And if you'd like to take a deeper stretch there on the left side of the body, you can cross the left ankle over the right. Do keep the low belly engaged slightly here so you don't start overarching that low back. One more breath. And then if you grabbed opposite elbows, you're going to extend the arms, walk your feet and hands back to the center. Take a moment to stretch. And then exhale everything over to the left. Again, keeping your hips and shoulders on the mat. Maybe separating the arms or grabbing opposite elbows. Maybe crossing right ankle now over the left. One more breath. And then we'll work everything back towards the center. Stretch one more time. And now we'll bring our right knee in. Interlace your fingers around the knee. Roll it in towards your right shoulder. Take your left hand and guide that knee across the body. We're going to come into a reclined twist. You can extend your right arm out and gaze will be over that right shoulder. If this is too much of a twist, you can just stack your knees and let your knees fall over to the left side of your mat. Take 3 deep breaths here. We'll bring that knee back in, squeeze it towards the shoulder, and then release it down to your mat. Bring your left knee in. Take your right hand now and guide that leg across the body for your twist. Try to use your breath to release any tension in the hips, in the low back. Last breath. And bring it in for one more squeeze. And release it down. Now you're going to take your block and we're going to take a supported bridge for our last posture here. So bring your feet in towards your glutes. Push into the heels to lift your hips, and you're going to slide your block underneath you to support the hips. So it's going to go right under the sacrum. And most people like it at this mid-level, but if that's too intense, you can bring it down to its lowest level. But you're going to relax into the block. Bring your arms out to either side of you, palms up towards the ceiling. You can slightly tuck your chin to lengthen the back of your neck and just breathe deeply here. You can close your eyes. Start to feel your chest melt into your mat. Hips melt into the block. Heart rate beginning to slow. Slow and steady breath. Take 3 more slow breaths here. When you're ready, you can push into the heels to lift the hips and remove the block. And then just extend your legs out, about hip width apart, maybe slightly wider. Let the feet flop open. Maybe lift your chest so you can bring the shoulders down away from the ears. Completely melt and relax, coming into Shavasana. So you stay in Shavasana as long as time will allow, keeping your awareness on your breath, keeping the mind clear of thoughts, maybe scanning the body, making sure there's no tension anywhere from your scalp all the way down to your fingertips and toes. Namaste.